Yeah, a lot of things changed. Obviously, I bought a house. I bought a couple of houses. I tried moving out my mum's house. I fucking hate it. I keep ending up back at my mum's house. I still got
Really?
my house, but I don't like being on my own. You know what I'm
Why?
saying? So I've still not grew up
What
that
do you not
much.
like about it? That's interesting.
I'm just not trying to be sat in my house on my own at 12 o'clock at night playing PlayStation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hearing noises, getting paranoid because I smoke too much weed and
Is
shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Now, the thing is, when he said this, yeah, he done some kind of little fake laugh after because really he's admitted that he's got this big problem of paranoia from smoking weed, yeah, and he has to laugh it off because he's obviously a guy, and you know if you say what your problems are in public, then people will say you're a wimp, you're soft, you're feminine, whatever, and so forth. But the fact is that he actually said that he can't stay in these big houses that he owns or these homes that he owns and so forth because when he smokes weed, he said when he smokes weed, he gets paranoid. And this is one thing that people don't talk about. Like I said, people try and act like weed is a recreational drug, like it's a minor, it doesn't do anything. No, no. Weed does cause people paranoia and it does mess with their head. Yeah? And it's not a little minor drug like it's not weed is not like drinking water like it's nothing. Yeah, because even many other people have said this, but whenever they do this, they never talk about it seriously because they don't want to be as a man. They don't want to look soft. Yeah, so they try to dismiss it. They try to like dismiss it like he did. He said, "Look, I don't really want to be staying at my mum's house. Yeah, playing games. Yeah, because and smoking weed because when I hear noises at night time, yeah, and I'm in I'm by myself, I get paranoid. So I find out. Think about this: this grown man, this rich grown rapper, yeah, with resources, money and resources, yeah, because we all know it's easy when you got money and resources to get help for your problem. Yeah, but this guy who's a rapper who raps on these big festivals in front of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, you know, and so forth. Yeah, this rapper, yeah, is saying that I cannot, yeah, stay on my own in buildings, yeah, because when I smoke weed, I hear noises, and it sincerely and literally, yeah, makes me scared. So I have to stay at my mum's. I have to stay at my mum's house as a grown adult. As a grown adult, I have to stay at my mum's house because when I'm alone in buildings, yeah, and I hear noises because I smoke weed, it makes me think. I get frightened. Not frightened as in a joke or a prank. I cannot be in a building on my own. Yeah, like I'm over 20. Yeah, I cannot be in a building on my own because when I smoke weed, I literally get scared. So I have to stay with my mum. This is not funny. This is not a slight joke. This is not a minor thing. This is a serious thing. This grown adult man, most probably he's a millionaire, or you know, has hundreds of thousands and so forth. He's admitting I can't stay at my own places, yeah, because weed makes me paranoid, and I have to be with my mother. That's not funny, man. What about all the less fortunate people who live on council estates? What about all the broke people that live on council estates, yeah, working paycheck from paycheck, yeah, who don't have resources and don't have friends in high places, you know, and was it access to all the places that he does? Of course, what is it? Of course, what about a person who's living alone on a council estate? They're working from paycheck to paycheck. They don't have these resources. What do they do? What can they do? Go to their mum's house. Say their mum's dead. Say their mum's dead and they're living on a council estate on their own and they're smoking weed. Weed is not a joke, man. It's a big problem. Yeah, you know, in the community, it's a big problem. But everyone just keeps playing it down like it's a minor, like it's nothing, like it's just like drinking water. Weed is not a joke, man. Say whenever you criticize weed, people always try to say, it doesn't affect me this way. It doesn't. Well, we're not talking about exceptions to the rule. Weed makes people paranoid. it's an actual thing that it does. Whether you like it or not, or whether you want to make excuses or not, weed makes people paranoid. And everyone knows this. For example, Ice Cube, everyone knows that weed makes you paranoid. See, people like to play like weed is some minor drug. It's just like drinking water. It's a minor thing. You know, the government declassed it, yeah, and that was irresponsible of the government because now you're telling everyone, you know, that but you just smoke weed, ain't it? It's not really that bad. It's such a minor thing, yeah, that we're gonna de-lower it. We're gonna illegally lower it, lower the rate, the rank of harmful effects of weed. Yeah, and we're gonna tell the whole world, the government, the government that controls the country, yeah. And you've added to the problem because what the situation now is that everyone just acts like weed is minor. The government's showing through its actions that weed is a minor, but weed properly meshes up people's lives. Years ago, Ice Cube made a film. If you don't know what it is, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, and I don't advise you to watch it. But Ice Cube knew. Ice Cube is one of the, I would say, in a black community, he's basically he's basically one of the biggest filmmakers. He understands, yeah, how to sell movies, you know, the feeling of people coming from poor, the inner cities, and Ice Cube knows about black people. He knows about lower class people, white and black. He knows about basically, you know, coming from the ends or, you know, the hoods or whatever, this, that, the other. Now the thing is this, in Ice Cube's movie, yeah, basically there's a part where he's smoking weed, yeah, and basically after he starts smoking weed, there's like this statue of a dog, or yeah, statue of a dog, and basically he keeps hearing noises there after he smoked the weed of like that statue making noises. So he looks at the statue, he hears a noise, he turns and looks at the statue, but it's a statue. It doesn't move. It's an inanimate object, yeah. And basically, it's like he keeps on turning away from it and hearing like the noises that dogs make, so he keeps on turning to it. Now the reason why Ice Cube could do that, because Ice Cube knows, yeah, that when you smoke weed makes you paranoid, and you think you're hearing noises, and you certain objects are doing certain things, or you just basically know that, where is it? You know, you keep hearing things and seeing things. Ice Cube, the reason why Ice Cube put that piece in his movie is because Ice Cube knew through smoking weed himself, yeah, that enough people will be able to relate to that part in a film, yeah, because enough people, just like him when they were smoking weed, they became paranoid, yeah. So he wouldn't include that part in a movie. As a filmmaker, he you know, he wouldn't put this part in his movie, yeah, if he didn't know that there was enough people to relate to it. If he thought it was only his personal experience where he smoked weed and he got paranoid, he wouldn't put it in, because like the rest of the people wouldn't get it. Like whenever you say that weed makes people paranoid, there's all these heroes always trying to come and say, "Oh, well, I don't get paranoid," all this stuff, who are lying anyway. Like, but the point is this, yeah, there's always exceptions to the rule, but the general thing is that weed makes people paranoid. That's why Ice Cube put in his movie, because he knew enough people would relate to it, yeah, and it would be a good part in a movie for him because everyone would start laughing. But that fact that he put that part of that movie proves that it's not just a one-off. It's not just him. It's not. There's a weed. When you smoke weed and so forth, it makes you paranoid. That's just a fact of it. You want to defend it and be a hero, whatever, and so forth. But there's a million other bad things about weed. Yeah, how it messes you up and so forth. But I went into that in another video, and you can check it out in a playlist. So anyway, all I just wanted to say, weed is not a joke. Try and get off it if you can. You know, it's not a thing to be joke with. It makes you bum. It makes you a slave. It makes you irritable. When you don't have your weed and you're around people, yeah, you start being rude to them and so forth. You start being annoying to them. You know. So yeah, try and get help for it.